Okay, so this is something I needed to do for a long time, and it's been brought to my attention that Don Morgan is posting as my father on his Facebook page, on his public figure page. And I'm reading all the comments and, all the March for America people who followed him, who still don't know the truth about what he was and what he did. And I need to come on here and I need to talk about what happened. My father and Don Morgan is not who you think they are. They never were who you thought they were. My father was a criminal. His life was a lie. I have all the biological proof. I have everything. All that money he raised for MFA, he used for himself and for Dawn. After my father passed away, he sent all his medical bills, all his legal fees from being arrested in Pennsylvania and his court fees. He had everything sent to my house in his name. My father is a con man, and I have all of his police records. He got arrested because he did steal money. And, I just smiled and looked pretty next to him in pictures and things to make everything seem like it was fine so I wouldn't get verbally abused by my father. My father was a narcissist. My father was a sociopath. He was a womanizer. And he was a con artist. My father was a drug addict. He was addicted to cocaine and and popping pills. Lives with my grandparents. My grandparents had to pay off all the credit cards. That was about $60,000-$70,000. It's because it's all about the money and the lavish lifestyle he lived. All that money from MFA he used to pay for his BMW, which was in him and Don Morgan's name. I have all the bills. I have all the proof, which includes my mom. She was not well at the time, and still is not well, but she's getting better. He was very verbally abusive, always put me down, called me a monster, called me horrible things because I was the one who was trying to tell my mom the truth about him. He had me sent to crisis multiple times for no reason. My father used to bite me on my head and my neck. He said they're love bites, and I said, no, you don't touch me like that. He made me look like the delinquent child. I was molested. I was beaten. My mom was raped and beaten. And I witnessed a lot of it. That's how much I had to move around due to bullying and harassment. I'm sorry. I need to get this story. I need the truth to be out there about what my dad did to people. What he did to me. What he did to my family. My biological father, I don't even want to call him my dad because he was so horrible. When my mom got her disability retroed back, he took about $25,000 of that. He started funneling money through my account from MFA and things, and I had no idea because he took all that money from those people and spent it on all these things. After I have the recording of the MFA board meeting of right after he passed away and when they found out the truth about everything, stealing people's money. I had no idea. I also had a savings account, which was my life savings from all my business and things, which had almost 40 grand in it. He wiped that whole thing clean. He took all of that. He broke up my relationship with my grandmother, said I wasn't allowed to speak to my grandmother, who lives right behind me, because he said it was his, but everything was in my mother's name. Everything was in my mom's name. He never paid for anything. So my grandmother took out a second mortgage and bought my house in full. My father had a gambling issue. Very bad gambling issue. He used to buy himself luxury things, luxury items. He used MFA money these innocent, hardworking people, these innocent people's money. And then, before, when I said how my art is so important to me, for the first year I really wasn't allowed to craft because he wouldn't let me see my grandmother. And then he said I had 3 days to pack up my entire craft studio. And I had to bring it to a big storage unit where he made me build and paint all that things. I didn't want any of that. I just needed a temporary place to store my things. He was like, no, I'm gonna build this big studio. And Dawn Morgan knew all of this. Dawn Morgan, that's how she has access to his Facebook page and posting. People think he's back from the dead. My father, I watched him die in front of me. My father is dead. And he was sick physically because he also abused alcohol and he abused drugs. He died in Nevada. His body got turned over to the state. And he sat on ice for about a month. And I barely even cried because, you know, I'm never gonna get the answers. But back to the storage units where he shoved me in a cold metal box, made me do all that work and construction you saw. And I didn't want any of it. And he was paying for it, and then he said, you know what, I'm not paying for this anymore, and if you want, and he threatened me, he's like, if you want to keep your art supplies and you come work for me, then, you know, that whole MFA was an entire lie. It was just a scam to get money from people. Well, all that money was from other people. It was dirty money. All of the membership cards that he sent out to everybody for MFA, I had to sit there with a machine and I had to hand stamp all of those cards, those credit card membership cards. I hand did all of those. And I had fibromyalgia. I was in severe pain doing that. Sitting hunched over on a couch on a stupid coffee table in a fucking hotel room making these membership cards. And if I didn't seal the envelopes right or do something right, he would freaking scream at me. He got cremated because he got turned over to the state. And he was on ice for a month, and he was cremated. At the time, one of his girlfriends went and bought 2 urns, and then Dawn was there and wanted his urns. And the lady called me and said, do you want them? And I said, his one girlfriend can keep what, because she paid for the urn, that's fine. And I didn't even know, she bought one for me and sent it to me. And the rest got handed over to Dawn. But yet she has all this leftover money that was stolen. But my father was not who you people thought he was. He hurt families, tore families apart. And I'm tired of seeing this on Facebook. It just triggered me, and I should have did this a long time ago. Because no one should be supporting him or following him. Or Dawn, or this new news report website thing she's come up with. It's fraud. He's a fraud. He's a con artist. And everybody's wondering, why is there no thing? Why is there no memorial? Blah, blah, blah. Because there wasn't any. Because everything was a con. My father was a liar about everything. Everything he told me was a lie. Everything. But I needed to just say something, because if he could do this to his own flesh and blood, his so-called family, he would do it to anyone, and he did. He was a con artist. He was a con artist and a liar. And I'm so sorry to everyone he hurt. I feel so obligated to do something about it. He ruined so many relationships and so many things.
I didn't feel bad when he died, and I don't feel bad about saying that. I'm someone who believes in karma, and I believe in evil, and I believe that those people in the world who are evil will get their ending. They'll get what they deserve. I don't think he even went to hell. I don't even think he went to hell. He's a lost soul. He's just wandering. And everybody's wondering where he is. Don Morgan has him. One of his girlfriends has him. And this is what I have of him. This little tiny thing that I haven't been able to bring myself to figuring out what to do with it. He was a sperm donor. And he should have stayed a sperm donor. I blame myself because I'm the one who brought him back into my life. And yeah, Dawn knew everything too because all the money went to her too. Who do you think she got paid by MFA to work? Okay? That's who paid for her dog and her hair and everything. The hotel room, her clothes, him going out buying all his Polo Ralph Lauren crap, when he was in Vegas, all his marijuana, all his weed and pot, all his expensive diamond infused beauty shit he wore, all the Michael Kors MK bags, all of that, Prada, all those promises, just gone. He was never a father to me. But I'm not going to sit around and let people find out that he died and envy him and praise him for being such a good human being when he was a terrible fucking person. He lives off of other people. He lived off of other people. And he abused drugs and alcohol. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to kind of stay calm. And I'll see how far this gets. About Scott Binsack. He's always been a con man, and there's plenty of proof about it. Don't fall into Dawn's new tricks. Trying to open up this news website. Don't donate any money. It's just gonna go right to her. Don't do this. There's people trying to come after her and find her, both federally and other people who are trying to sue her. Don't pull yourself into it. Don't.
I'm gonna take a guess on how many times you're gonna get shot.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.